Here's the news at 9. First, the highlights. Governor Sanwo-Olu flags off awareness campaign ahead reintroduction of monthly sanitation program. Federal government seeks 40 billion naira private sector investments to combat tuberculosis. On the foreign scene, British new foreign minister seeks immediate ceasefire in Middle East trip. And in sports, Kwara United to resume pre-season training on Monday ahead Nigeria Premier Football League season. Now the details. I am John Omoaka. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has flagged off awareness programs ahead the proposed reintroduction of the monthly sanitation. Governor Sanwo-Olu stated that 200,000 waste bins and different colors of refuse bags for sorting will be distributed to households across the state. He enjoined the youth, women, men, elderly, school children, and all stakeholders to collaborate with the government to kickstart, sensitize, create awareness, and embrace cleanliness of the environment at all times.
To announce and using Lagos Island, our two local government, Lagos Island and Lagos Island East, as a form of advocacy that we will push around the entire state on our plan to ensure that we begin a collective process of ensuring that the cleanliness in our environment is important, is paramount, and is something that every citizen must be aware.
Governor Sanwo-Olu frowned at the level of environmental infractions on Lagos Island, especially removal of manholes on roads. Said the Ministries of Works and Infrastructure and Environment and Water Resources will set up a gang to monitor the environment.
The environment and the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure are going to be setting up gangs. And if by whatever means you are caught, there are huge consequences to it. But beyond that, it's also for us to use this occasion to announce and using Lagos Island, our two local government, Lagos Island and Lagos Island East, as a form of advocacy that we will push around the entire state.
While admonishing residents of Lagos Island to support government in ensuring cleaner environment at all times, Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokumba Wahab, urged the leaders, community development associations, and community development committees to join the government in ensuring safe, flood-free, and sustainable environment. He challenged all agencies under the ministry to rejig their activities and synergize to make renewed efforts on the environment a success.
It's our belief that this initiative, when it fully commences and we wrap up the advocacy and awareness, will ensure that flooding is reduced drastically to the barest minimum for the good people of Lagos State. And like the governor and the people have always said, we can't continue to believe the ostrich and claim global warming is not real.
Our correspondent, Adiola Kindele, quotes Governor Sanwo-Olu as saying that for the next 2 Saturdays, the advocacy and awareness programs on environmental sanitation will be taken across the state. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has pledged his administration's commitment towards sustainable eco-friendly initiatives and planting of 5,000 trees within the next 1 year. Governor Sanwo-Olu made pledge at the Lagos State Tree Planting Day event with the theme, Nurture Our Future, held at the Lagos House Marina. The governor called for more collaborations from the private sector to increase tree planting to about 25,000 in 1 year and stressed the need to take conversations around climate change to all residents of the state to protect the earth, environment, and curb the scourge of climate change.
we're going to come up with a grant, a support, so that it can organically grow within the community, and we can believe that it's only when we put these things in the right places, people can nurture them, people can watch over them, and we can see these trees, being grown in different parts of our city. And I believe that the city is not overbuilt, that they still cannot receive 25,000, 50,000 trees in the next 1 year.
Earlier in his opening remarks, Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, noted that the state government has embarked on various interventions to protect the environment, urged residents to own the environment, desist from improper waste disposal, indiscriminate cutting of trees, blockage of drainage channels, and all other acts that are against the sanctity of the environment.
Our ministry will continue to implement policies and programs that promote environmental sustainability and resilience. However, we cannot do it alone. I call upon every Lagosian to join us in this endeavor. Please, at least plant one tree in your lifetime. Nurture it and watch it grow. Teach your children and adults the importance of environmental stewardship.
The General Manager, Lagos State Parks and Gardens Agency, Adeton Popola, said the state government is committed to planting 5,000 trees with the expectation to get corporate organizations and private sector to plant 2,000 trees in 1 year. Highlight of the event was the presentation of certificates of tree planting to Governor Sanwo-Olu and his wife, Ibijoke, Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat and wife, Olufemi, as well as other stakeholders. Our correspondent, Adiola Kindele, reports that the tree planting was carried out simultaneously across all the local government and local council development areas of the state. Lagos Restorative Justice Center, in collaboration with the Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption Program, RULAC, has trained Lagos magistrates on restorative justice. The State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Lawal Pedro San, stressed that restorative justice is not alien and has been in existence and practiced for over 3 decades in other countries. Hence the need for it to be adopted into the Nigeria justice system to ensure the peaceful resolution of criminal cases. Pedro was represented by the Solicitor General and Permanent Secretary, Lagos Ministry of Justice, Titilayo Shitabe Jeje, urged magistrates to take full advantage of the training program, saying it will help them develop new skills and strategies for resolving cases that focus on repairing harm and rehabilitating offenders, leading to higher satisfaction with the justice system of the states. Now to the rest of the stories. To bridge the significant funding shortfall in its fight against tuberculosis, TB, and achieve the goal of eliminating it by 2030, Nigeria is seeking a 40 billion naira investment from the private sector. Currently, only 6% of the national TB budget comes from domestic sources, leaving a 70% funding gap, a critical shortage that has hindered the widespread implementation of innovative interventions and the execution of the 2021 to 2026 TB National Strategic Plan. Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mohammed Pate, who stated this in Lagos, said the federal government would match the financial commitment made by the private sector towards the goal. Pate gave a call to action on the need for the private sector involvement in ending TB in Nigeria, saying the aim was to energize and bring this public sector with the private sector to work together to end TB. The Organized Labor Abia State chapter says it will not issue another notice to the state government if it fails to adhere and implement the Memorandum of Understanding reached than to proceed to an indefinite strike. The union has once threatened to go on strike on Monday, June 8, 2024, due to the state government's inability to dialogue with the union over the payment of the 30,000 naira minimum wage and the 35,000 naira palliative wage award as approved by the federal government since October 2023. Following the ultimatum, Abia State Governor Alex Oti met with members of the organized labor with a directive to the State Accountant General to liaise with the union on their demands, among other issues. The state's NLC chairman, Ogbunaya Okoro, has alleged that the state government is currently paying 25,000 naira while workers in the local government receive 18,000 naira as minimum wage. Meanwhile, the governor claimed that records available to him showed that the state is paying 30,000 naira minimum wage. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has won all 21 council seats in the just concluded local government election in Adamawa State. According to the results released by the State Independent Electoral Commission, all the councillorship seats were also won by the ruling PDP in the 226 wards in the northeast state, except the Demsa ward of the Demsa local government area, where the New Nigeria People's Party, NNPP, won one councillorship seat. The chairman of the Electoral Commission, Mohammed Umar, who announced the results at the commission's headquarters in Yola, said the ruling party won overwhelmingly in all the 21 local government councils of the state. And now to foreign news. Britain's new Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, will press for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and release of hostages during a trip to Israel and occupied Palestinian territories. The Foreign Office says Lammy will meet Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas amid a case for a credible and irreversible pathway towards a two-state solution. It says Lammy will also raise with Netanyahu the issue of 680 tons of British aid that is waiting to enter Gaza. Lammy's Labour Party, elected in a landslide earlier this month despite setbacks in areas with large Muslim populations amid discontent over its position in Gaza, had said long-term peace and security in the Middle East will be an immediate focus. And now sports. Kwara United Football Club will officially resume pre-season training ahead of the 2024-2025 Nigeria Premier League Football League (NPFL) season on Monday. The Harmony Boys finished in 13th position last season. The Ilorin club has decided to start preparation for the new season on time in order to improve performance and also maximize the team's potential. According to a statement by the club's media officer, Ayodeji Ismail, the management has been working assiduously to fortify the team with the best players in anticipation of the new season of the new NPFL season. It's really interesting to know that the 2024-2025 Nigeria Premier Football League season will kick off on Saturday, August 31. And that's our news. But just before we go, ensure you make use of your seatbelt while driving. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms. X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration provided 450,000 pupils with e-learning devices? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has flagged off awareness programs ahead the proposed reintroduction of the monthly sanitation. To bridge the significant funding shortfall in its fight against tuberculosis, TB, and achieve the goal of eliminating it by 2030, Nigeria is seeking a 40 billion naira investment from the private sector. We also told you that Britain's new Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, will press for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and the release of hostages during a trip to Israel and occupied Palestinian territories. And in sport, Kwara United Football Club will officially resume pre-season training ahead of the 2024-2025 Nigeria Premier Football League NPFL season on Monday. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Aderayo Idu Olaya. I am John Omoaka. Thank you very much for listening.